Hey guys, welcome the legendary Ruffian X here, giving you some Diablo 4 Season 1 tier list leveling, endgame, pushing, speed farming, and nightmare dungeon type of tier list here that Maxwell just put out. Shout out to Facefoot for writing this article up. I want to go over with you guys and show you what to expect for Season 1, what kind of builds are going to be super viable so you guys can skim right through it. For you guys who enjoy the meta builds over the tinkering builds they're on the lower level of the list. So yeah, hey, feel free to please subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on kick.com at ruffianx. Would really appreciate the more followers on kick.com. Thank you. So let's go right into it here. So this is just a recently updated, it was updated to today, July 19th, tier list for build guides. So let's first dive into the leveling tier list. Let's see what they have here. I really want to go through the S tier only, and then maybe kind of like feel bad for the D tiers and the F tiers. So once again, the idea of this season 1 is that the druids and rogues are kind of reigning supreme. There is some necro love here and there, but not much. The druids and the necro. So if you're liking the druid and the necro, I would highly recommend this might be your season, unless any other changes implement later on. So we have the rogue twisting blades. I went this spec for leveling last season. So this is going to be a really good leveling spec for the rogue. So not really a lot of changes there. The firewall source is actually a good leveling build, but unfortunately the sorcerer's Zen game is not so well. We'll get into that later. As well as the chain lightning. So as these are good leveling builds, the end game they do falter. Just so you guys know. So let's see we have the sources, the rogues, the necro for leveling only is the Sever Necro. Also the Bone Spear Necro and the Blight CE Necro. We have more source builds. So yeah, we go into B tier. We finally get to the Tornado Druid and the Pulverized Druid builds for the max leveling builds for them. And the Ren Barb or the Hoda Barb, however you want to say it. So yes, we get to those, and I think that covers all 5 classes. So yeah, looks like the S tier for the rogue is going to be the quickest. They have the most mobility, so it makes sense. So let's go into the speed farming tier list. Okay, so what's the speed farming? So that's all outdoor open world content, like they mentioned here: Trees of Whispers, Helltide, Zone events. So but not large bosses. Okay, so this is like a mobility and AoE kind of like build type higher tier. All right, so what does that consist of? You have more options now when you're in the open world, right? As far as you want to speed farm. So we still have the Twisting Blades. We have the Death Trap Rogue builds along with the Barrage Rogue. For Druid builds, it's the Lightning Storm Druid that I'm actually going to try, and the Lightning Shred Druid. Actually, I'm going to try the Lightning Shred because that looks like a lot more fun, I should say. And then for Source, 4 different specs. A lot of AoE damage for Sorcerer builds for speed farming. The Blizzard, the Ball Lightning, Ice Shards, and Chain Lightnings. So we go down to A tier. Werewolf Tornado Druid is also good for speed farming. Pulverized Druid. So we go looking for the Necro here. We have the Bone Spear Necro for the speed farming. And finally the Barbarian or the Barb and the Whirlwind Barb there for the speed farming for outdoor builds. So let's go into end game. This is where the juicy stuff is. This end game starts at level 50. So usually you want to change to these specs at level 50. You want to speed farm, you want to level to 50 with those leveling builds I showed you, and then you want to switch over to the endgame builds. So I have good news for rogues. If you are a Twisting Blade rogue, you are good on the end game as well. So which they include Barrage, they include Tap Rogue too. So for Necros, it's Bone Spear Necro. And then we have the Druids, Lightning Shred Druid, which I'm going to go. Werewolf Tornado Druid, I would love to go that, but it's very hard to get that spec. And then the Lightning Storm Druid for the S tier builds. So we don't have any sorcerers and we don't have any barbarians. Let's see where we can find them. So in A tier, we find the Hoda Barb and the Whirlwind Barb. Well, let's find the source. They're not till B tier with the Ice Shards, Blizzard, Firewall, or Ball Lightning source for these end game builds. Okay, so really a big L for the sorcerers. Really sorry to give you the unfortunate bad news. So if you, and then we have a tier list for the Nightmare Dungeon push. Okay, S tier, believe it or not, we have the Rapid Fire Rogue for pushing Nightmare Dungeon. Okay, and then we have two possible Druid builds, Earthen Bulwark. I'm surprised that they have S tier there. But then we have the Werewolf Tornado Druid. I would like to end with completely, but we'll see what kind of items we get. So A tier, we have more rogue builds. We have the Lightning Storm Druid, and then we finally get the Infinimist Necro and the Bloodlance Necro spec. So we're looking for a sorcerer and a barbarian. So we have B tier, the Hoda Barb and the Whirlwind Barb. We're also introducing the Thorns Barb and the Double Swing Barb for pushing these night dungeons. Fortunately, the Sorceress is not even in B tier. We don't run into Sorcerer specs until the C tier. We have Ice Shards, Blizzard, Ball Lightning, Firewall, and Trident Lightning. Very unfortunate, again, for the Sorcerer builds. Very sad day. Sorry to bring you that news, but let's move on to the Nightmare Dungeon tier list. So we're focusing on experience farming and glyph leveling for these tier lists. So where do I want to go if I want to do that? If I want to, these are the level your character as fast as possible. So we're just going to focus on these S tier right now. So you want to go to Aldor's Cave, Mercy's Reach, Surat's Lair, and Dead Man's Dredge for that solo experience farming. Level yourself up, get your Paragon point. And then for glyph leveling, you want to start getting Paragon points, you want to level those glyphs. So I would just focus on Surat's Lair and Aldor's Cave Okay. So yeah, all right. So that covers the Nightmare Dungeon tier list and how fast you can level depending. So unique tier list. We have a new unique tier list, and this is added the new uniques, which is the Spear, the Eagle Horn from Diablo 2, Lidless from Diablo 2, Azarath from Diablo 2, Flesh Render, I think that's from Diablo 3. I don't know if I'm wrong. And of course the Oculus, which is surprisingly dead last in F tier. Well, it was so good in Diablo 2. It's just there's not enough going on with the Oculus to get any better than F tier. Unfortunately, that's very sad to see, but it is what it is. So got Andy's Visage up there, Doombringer up there, so they really haven't changed. The Grandfather, Shaco, the Conquest, they're still up there. So that doesn't surprise me, especially the Shaco with the +4 rank all skills. So yeah, kind of interesting. I would glance over this, just for your curiosity. This was updated on July 9th. So, but yeah, I just wanted to cover the tier list that they just came out with. Maxroll.com, again, a really good website to just give you update on, tier list and hey, what's good, what's not so good. If you guys are interested in the meta stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming in, watching my video. Please, once again, subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on kick.com. I really need more followers there. Once again, I'm going to be doing a lot more content for season 1 because this is where the juicy stuff happens, right? So I'm excited for it. There's been a lot of nerfs. A lot of people are unhappy with these nerfs into season 1, but I know there's going to be a campfire. They're going to address it. I might do a little review on that video, but we'll see. So all right, I'll see you guys later. Have a great night. Later.